Hey, what's up? Thanks for checking out the live stream and talking about what the future holds for humanity, for not just America, but all people. You know, um, we do have a we do have a role to play, and my belief often is that we are being we are we are being somewhat manipulated by media, government, etc. for the future they want. Then there's the future that we want, right? This is why I think it's so powerful to unplug from the media machine often and get into nature and just walk away from all the BS, right? That's the only way that I think we're going to get some clarity to understand and contemplate what kind of world we want to live in, right? Do we want to live in a world where we're constantly looking to the GOV for answers? I don't think so. I don't think so. People talking about AI, seems a lot like when they were talking about the internet back in the day. It was going to supposedly disrupt it. It did change things. Let's be real. I've even had my own, you know, I've been suspect about AI for a while. Let's be real, questions, because anytime the gov's involved, I'm like, probably not going to be my scene. They're building that big data center down in Texas, and them having more surveillance is never a good thing. I'm not really down with anything around that, but what are the opportunities that are available for humanity with AI? Could be good. You never know, right? Could be good. I think two paths are laid out before us, and I shared a video the other day. It was the video about the Flexner report, and that guy, he blew me away because what he said was, he was an older gentleman. He said he got out of the system when he started to see that it was becoming kind of wacky, kind of wild. And then he said the year that he got out, and he said it was 1975. I was like, what? 1975. Can you even imagine? I can't even fathom someone getting out then, but I think people get out at all points along the journey, right? He went to live like an Amish person. It sounds like he went to live in Pennsylvania country and sounded like he had an awesome life. He was well educated. He knows about what's going on with our medical system. He knows about what's going on with our financial system, with the education system. See, my offering to people, and I talk about this in the Great Awakening Guide, is just get out of as many systems as you can, because all the systems they run, they're running all the systems, and the goal is, and they're winding them up. The more we're involved in these systems, the more we expose ourselves. Giving your kids to the public education system, I think it's widely accepted now. That's problematic at best. Putting your money in the financial system, well, people in the Great Depression, they didn't fare too well in that situation. People in the healthcare system, it's getting very expensive, and we're not getting the care that we deserve, that we need and deserve, right? They're not really managing health. They're more managing sickness, right? Symptoms. And all of that stuff is available online now. I mean, even Bill Gates, I don't like to quote Bill Gates, or I don't like to use his advice, but he thinks that, AI will replace doctors and teachers and many other professions. And it probably will. I mean, I use it myself when I want to find out, how to improve my health, So I don't know. I think the opportunities are going to be there to help us. I really do. But we have to be cautious of how we use it and where we use it and what we use it for, right? And we definitely don't want, like Klaus Schwab was talking about, an AI governing body or an AI picking our leaders. That's not the game, in my opinion. But using it for our own, to help us become better and do the mundane things, a while back, I saw a quote from an artist, and she said, "I don't want AI to make my art. I want AI to do the mundane things so that I can make my art." And I love that, something to that effect. And I think that's kind of where we're at, to be honest. Um, anyway, there's opportunities. There's opportunities for humanity with AI moving forward, and it could be good or bad depending on how we approach it. I see some people, I forget who I was watching the other day. Um, who was that? They were talking about what we bring to AI from a level of consciousness. Oh, you know who it was? And I shared this guy on my, I think I shared him on, no, I shared him on an AI on a live stream. Hey, how you doing? Uh Remind me who you are. I don't know that I remember the name. Why did you catch another one of my live streams? Remind me which one you were watching. Um, it was he has an AI, so his Instagram handle is Unchained Earth, unchained.earth. And this guy is wild. He's created an AI called Ether, and AETHER, I believe. AETHER. He is wild. He does inverted spinning. It's the wildest thing you've ever seen. He built a geodesic dome, and he actually sells these things. He does inverted spinning, and what he claims that does is it kind of almost like puts you in a meditative trance, a meditative experience, and it allows you to go deeper into the human experience. It's wild. I've watched a lot of his stuff, and his AI is on point. Let me see what you said here. Last talk, we are discussing about Jesus and Sri Krishna. Okay, yes, that might have been yesterday. I think I do remember you now. Yeah, we were talking about Hindus, right? Let's see. Please search Walken City. Its shape look like Lord Shiva. Okay. Watkin City. Okay, I will search it up. But anyways, this guy's AI is, he said, because he's getting a lot of benefit, and he's sharing that benefit with the world. Things like, okay, what's the power structure of the world look like? What do you think about this person? What do you think about this? And it is pretty wild. It's pretty wild. And he said not to be afraid of AI, because the consciousness you approach AI with will be your experience. And I have to take that to heart, because we know that when we change the way we look at things, the things we look at change. Who said it? Max Planck, one of the gurus of quantum physics. It's called Watka. Okay, so it's Watka. Earlier days. Maka is also Temple of Shiva. Okay, I'll check him out. I'm also down to check that out. So he said, if you how you approach AI is how it's going to work for you. I buy it. What I am skeptical about is, anytime the gov comes on the scene and says, hey, we're getting involved in, I don't know, the financial industry or healthcare or medicine, I'm always like, oh, great. Here we go again. What's up with what kind of problems are they going to create in these areas? So when they're involved in AI, I'm like, I think that's what's turned me off, to be honest. And I probably need to rethink that, because I'm seeing some people having some wonderful experiences and getting some wonderful deep insights into, the human experience from AI. He also met up with one of my other favorite guys online, Troy Casey, certified health nut. That guy he is a nut. He is a nut. If you haven't seen his interview talking about his experience with Andy Elliott, he paid Andy Elliott a bunch of money to basically build out a system for his business online and, automate a lot of it. And he totally scammed him, allegedly, based on what Troy Casey says. And I have no reason not to believe him. He seems like a really legit guy. This Unchained.earth guy met up with a bunch of them. I think they were in Arizona, and they're just diving deep. And Troy Casey's another one that also thinks that AI is going to be beneficial. Let's see what you're saying here. Sir, in the future, words faces so much in the future worlds faces so much disaster. Maybe. And I sometimes go back and forth and I think to myself, well, is it going to be good? Is it going to be bad? Um, I just I just want to retain as much power over and sovereignty over myself and my mind and my body as possible. That's the way I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be good. End of this era is coming. It's called, yep, Kali Yuga, darkest era. I've heard that. I've heard that. Um, yeah, I'm familiar with it. It's a wild ride for sure. And let's be clear. I remain cautiously optimistic about the future, only because I don't want to dive into a well of despair, and realizing that whatever happens, it will be for the greater good. Whatever happens to us and is always dictated on how we approach it too, right? But it is a wild ride. I'm familiar with that, and I thank you for bringing that up, Kali Yuga. Yeah, I've heard of it. So I don't know. Let me know. Are you guys using AI? Are you diving in? What are you seeing from the people that you're following about AI? Is it going to be a good thing? Is it going to be a bad thing? Replacing doctors. The other day, Miro, his name is Miro someone. He's a big time YouTuber. He's a doctor, and his wife's also a doctor. She's a podiatrist. He shared a clip, and it talked about, they used, and I think I shared that the other day. They used AI to basically diagnose, pretend to be a doctor, and it was right more than doctors. Isn't that wild? Like by 16%. It was a study they did. And that's one of the cool things. I've used the internet to help myself become healthier and find out where I'm off, right? And it's a thing. It's a real thing. Read Bawasha. Boy, that's mentioned about Islam and Christianity. Oh, really? So this is a Hindu. I've read a little bit of the Bhagavad Gita. I like that, and I've also read the Upanishads. I like it. I like those kind of things. Is this a similar? I haven't heard of this text you're mentioning. What does it say about Islam and Christianity? Yeah, that's wild. But anyway, like he said, there's some cool cats involved. Now, there are also some people that are in the health and wellness industry talking about the state of the world that I don't agree with. And not that I don't agree with them. It's that I just don't think they don't see what I see. I'm not going to call them wrong, right? I'm not going to call them wrong. They don't see what I see. One of the guys that I really have a lot of respect for is Dan McDonald. He's a freaking pimp in the health and wellness space. He is a total badass. I mean, long 40-day juice fasts, totally raw vegan. I mean, I've been following him for a long time. He said, and I put this up in the Hot Topic series recently on my channel, that, talking about Trump in the first term, Trump in the second term, he didn't think anything was going to go down. I have a different take on it because I've really got very followed the trail of breadcrumbs into the occult and into, Satanism, and things do appear to be, talk about like lining up your own perception. But again, things do appear. If it looks like a duck, quacks like a duck, acts like a duck, it might be a duck. You just have to look at what's going down. Okay, let me see what you're saying here. Scripture saying that Muhammad is Malak being the bad guy, right? Muhammad. Okay, I haven't heard that. Are you talking about Moloch, that the dark deity? Moloch is called sin people who destroy humanity, kill innocent, and don't follow the rule of Dharma. Okay. Muhammad. So you're saying Islam is the bad guys. Is that what you're saying? No, prophecy says that Lord Kaiki is coming for fight Malak army. Okay. Yeah, I don't know much about the Hinduism. I mean, I know a little bit about the main deities, Krishna, and from what I've read in the Bhagavad Gita. I'm kind of sus of all. I'm kind of sus of all spiritual or religious traditions just because of the man aspect. I take it all in. I want to know it all. Like I did a deep dive in Buddhism in my earlier years. Found a lot of benefit there. Did a deep dive into, like I said yesterday, Vedanta and dualism, and I learned a lot. I mean, I learned a lot from those things. What was the other one that I got a lot of benefit out of? A little bit of Tao. Now, most recently, Christianity. I haven't really got into the Islam thing. I want to. I want to look into it. Because I think there's value there, but I am sus of a lot of it. I am suspect of quite a bit of it. Just because, anything that men have their hands in, I see, like I talked about in the other one, I see it as a way to government and religion is the biggest control mechanisms of our world. And so anytime those people are doing something, I'm instantly sus. Buddhism founder Lord Buddha also born. Yes, I've heard that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Buddhism is super popular. I'm thinking it probably still is. I have a friend who's a deep level Buddhist practitioner. He's in the Vajrayana Buddhism family. He's a gem. He's a freaking gem. Very, very, yeah, Gautama. Yeah. Yeah. I think Buddhism, like Taoism, probably more Buddhism caught on in the West and really took off, over the last, I don't know if I think it was huge in like the 70s, 80s, 90s. I think it's not as popular now, but people who have been through real adversity don't offend easily. I was talking to a black man with no legs and I asked him what happened. He said his parents were black. Clever. Yeah. Yeah, that's a great that's a subtle deep truth about life. I love that, by the way. Um yeah, yeah. That guy has a good grasp on the human experience. Buddhism sure. Okay, you sounds like you know a lot about the I I thought I lost the feed for a while, but it looks like it came back. That's weird. Read Buddhism scripture, Palchaka, Tantra, older. Maybe I did lose feed. It's still going. Let me see. Let me know if I'm still live. Because I think it. Yeah, I think it is still. Anyway, but it looks like I have a connectivity issue. That's interesting. So thanks for hanging out with me. I appreciate you guys. I will catch you in the next one. Appreciate all of the engagement and have an awesome day. I'll talk to you soon. Yeah, I think I have some kind of a connectivity issue. I'm not really Yeah, I think I have some kind of a connectivity issue. I'm not really sure what it is. I'll look into it. Internet error. Yeah, because it was reconnecting on my end. Thanks for all the suggestions and the info. I appreciate you. And have an awesome day. I'll talk to you later. Bye bye.